Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Darrell from The Quest in Galesburg, Illinois. Want to welcome you to another one of our daily devotions and invite you to, especially if you're in the Galesburg area, look us up. We're just planning a new church here. We're just getting ready to launch things off the ground. This COVID thing has delayed us quite a bit, of course, but hey, we're getting there, and we appreciate your strength, your prayers, your support that you've been given to us as we launch into this. I want to talk for just a few minutes this morning about trust. I don't have to tell you, we live in a day and age that it's pretty hard to know who to trust, and when you do trust, do you trust fully? Turn on the news, you see the things with politicians. I'm just going to be honest, I don't trust any of them. They can stand there and look you square in the eye. Yesterday, there was one politician yesterday who stood there and said, we all know this is the Russians doing this. And then the intelligence community comes in and says, he's not spoken to us, and that's the only place he gets the information. He's looking right into the cameras, speaking to the American people and just telling us a bold-faced lie. Made it completely up. Now listen, I don't care which side of the political spectrum you're on. That's not my point. You can line up wherever you want to, but the point is, it's awful hard to trust people. Politicians, they're a dime a dozen, and they'll tell you whatever they have to get elected. I don't really care about Republican, Democrat, Independent. They'll tell you one thing one day, tell you another one the next, or they'll tell you something and turn right around. It's on the news that they said just the opposite. So you can't really trust them. And good Lord, newscasters. I'm getting old enough now that I remember back when I was a kid, and you turn on the TV and you'd see Chet Huntley and David Brinkley and Walter Cronkite. And you know what those guys told you? You can take it to the bank. They didn't give you their opinions. They gave you the news, and you got to sort it out from there. But nowadays, everybody wants to slant things to their view, and you just don't know who to trust. And get ready, because here comes the hardest part. It's even harder when Christians can't speak truth to you. Christian people, it's like they don't even understand that the Bible talks about the liar will not make it into heaven. It's in the Word. Christians will look you in the eye and tell you something. Just yesterday I was talking with somebody, and I knew, because I knew the story, and they were telling me as if they had been there, and it was like, I'm thinking, how dare you stand right here and say these things? But it's just the way it is. And even worse yet is so many Christian leaders. They will tell you something, and then you find out that they have laughed behind your back about what they've told you. And and that comes, I don't care what denomination or non-denomination, it's just like people don't understand that there is a consequence. And so we find ourselves asking, who do we trust? Let me just tell you as straightforward as I can. The Bible tells us, let me just paraphrase, that some trust in chariots, some trust in horses. In other words, they trust in the might of the world. It's about, I will trust in the name of the Lord our God. The Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 3, trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. Listen, your own understanding will mess you up so bad, because you can think you know the truth, you think you've got it right. Don't lean on your own understanding. Trust in God. Trust in what His Word says. That's what I want to get down to, is get into the Word. I talked with so many people many, many years ago. I won't even say where, it doesn't matter. It would be wrong to say which one, but it's one particular church I pastored, and one of the leaders in the church, week after week, they would be one of the last ones to leave the church, and we would go outside the doors and we'd stand there and talk. And I noticed his Bible sitting in the back window of his car. And finally, one day, I just asked him, I called his name, and I said, I've seen your Bible back there for weeks on end. He said, yeah, I like to take the Word with me. I said, do you ever read it? And he laughed, and he said, well, I trust you to give me that. Can I tell you something? That's just not going to work. You cannot put your faith in your life in the hands of hearing one sermon a week and let that be enough word for you. The Bible talks about the Word being the bread of life. The reason they talked about that is the Middle Eastern, especially in those days, but even today to a large extent, bread is the substance of their life. That is one of the main staples of their diets and what they eat. So when Jesus said, I am the bread of life, those people understood exactly what it means. You can't survive without daily feeding on the bread of life, without getting into the Word. But so many people have fallen into that trap of trusting the preacher, and they think, well, I turn on the TV, I turn on the radio, I've got CDs or tapes or whatever they may have, and I listen to different preachers all the time. You need to get into the Word for yourself. I used to say this all the time in my church, and I had somebody get mad at me until I finally got them to understand I'm human. I can make mistakes. I can get up there and say something absolutely being sincere, 100% sincerity, and make a mistake and say something wrong. You need to check out what you're being told, what you're being taught in the Word. The only thing that you can count on, the only thing you can trust is God and His Word. So who can you trust? You can trust in Jesus, and you can trust in His Word. People will tell you, well, I was talking to God and He told me this. If it doesn't line up with His Word, reject it. Matter of fact, run from it. Flee from it as fast as you can, because the only thing you can trust in is God and His Word. I'll talk more about this another day. I need to get running right now. God bless you. Come back and see me again to Quest. We love you. We're praying for you.